Isle of Dogs while he's searching for his guardian dog, Spots?
Atari.
Yep. In Bottle Rocket, Anthony Adams becomes attracted to a maid called Inyet when he stays at a motel. What country is Inyet originally from?
Paraguay.
Yep. What is the title of the valuable painting bequeathed to Monsieur Gustave by Madame D in her will? In order to get it away from her family, he's forced to steal it.
Boy with Apple.
Yep. At the end of the Darjeeling Limited, what is the name of the train that the Whitman brothers run to catch after they have finally visited their mother in a convent?
The Bengal Lancer.
Yes. What is the name of the pupil at Rushmore Academy, played by Jason Schwartzman, who is put on academic probation because his large number of extracurricular activities have affected his grades?
Max Fisher.
Yep. In Fantastic Mr. Fox, what type of fruit does Mr. Fox lace with sleeping powder to put the beagles to sleep on his mission to steal Farmer Bogus's chickens?
Blueberries. Correct.
And you're out of time, and you had no passes, and you scored, Oliver, 14 points. And our next contender, please. Your name is?
Leslie Bowen.
Your occupation?
Customer service assistant.
And your chosen subject?
Richard III.
The king who ruled from 1483 to his death in the battle of Bosworth Field. 2 minutes on him starting now. Which dukedom was Richard elevated to by his brother, King Edward IV, in 1461?
Gloucester.
Yeah. What is the usual English translation of Richard's personal motto, Loyalty me lie?
Loyalty binds.
Yes. What was the name of the elder son of Richard's sister Elizabeth, who was regarded as heir apparent after the death of the Prince of Wales in 1484?
John de la Pole.
Yes, Earl of Lincoln. At which town did Richard take possession of Edward V as the king made his way to London for his coronation?
Stony Stratford.
Yes. At which battle, fought on the 4th of May 1471, did Richard command the vanguard of the Yorkist army? Prince Edward, the son of King Henry VI, died during the fighting.
Tewkesbury.
Yep. Richard established a religious college on one of his estates in North Yorkshire in 1478. Which estate?
Middleham.
Yep. Who was executed in 1484 after he pinned to the door of St Paul's Cathedral the rhyme, "The cat, the rat and Lovelar dog rule all England under a hog"?
Thomas Conyers.
No, William Collingbourne. What was the name of the prominent noble who was arrested at the Tower of London on the 13th of June 1483 and summarily executed, supposedly for plotting against Richard?
William Lord Hastings.
Yes. Around what hill is Richard's army believed to have pitched camp the night before the Battle of Bosworth?
Ambion Hill.
Yep. At the Battle of Bosworth, Richard was killed after he led a cavalry charge directly at Henry Tudor and is said to have thrust to the ground with great force a 6'8" tall knight. What was his name?
John Chain.
Yes. In which church was Richard's body buried 3 days after the Battle of Bosworth? His remains were discovered under a car park in 2012.
Greyfriars Church.
Yep. The discovery of his remains revealed that he had a medical condition that resulted in curvature of the spine. What condition?
Scoliosis.
Yes. What was the name of the brother of the Mayor of London who is said to have preached a sermon at St Paul's Cross in which he claimed that Edward IV had been illegitimate?
Ralph Shah.
Yep. In 1483, who helped Richard to gain the throne but later that year rebelled against him? Richard referred to him as the most untrue creature living in a letter to the Lord Chancellor, John Russell.
The Duke of Buckingham.
Yep, Henry Stafford. The Duke of Buckingham was beheaded in November 1483 after the failure of the rebellion against Richard. In which city was he executed?
Salisbury.
Is correct. In no passes, Leslie. You have 14 points. And our next contender, please. From a Twickenham crowd. During the side's 1988 victory over Ireland in the final game of that season's Five Nations.
Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
Yes. Who became the first England player to have played both before and after the war when he played in the 1947 fixture against Wales, England's first official post-war international?
Dickie Guest.
Yep. At what stage of the 2011 Rugby World Cup were England knocked out by France? They lost 1912.
Quarter-final.
Yes, in 1975, Mike Burton became the first England player to be sent off in an international fixture because of a late tackle on which Australian player?
Garrick Fay.
Doug Osborne. Rory Underwood scored 5 tries against which country in November 1989?
Fiji.
Yep. Whom did the RFU appoint as England's team manager in 1969? He was the first head coach of the national side.
Pass.
In a 2002 match against Argentina, Phil Vickery became the first player from his club to captain the England side. Which club?
Gloucester.
Yep. At which Sydney ground did England play their first World Cup match in 1987? They lost the game 19-6 to co-hosts Australia.
The Ballymore Oval?
No, the Concord Oval. In Rome in 2000, who became the first England forward in 129 years of Test rugby to score a drop goal?
Neil Back.
Yes. Which New Zealand winger scored 4 tries against England in the 1995 World Cup semi-final?
Jonah Lomu.
Yes. Who played in all of England's games in the 1979 Five Nations and, aside from one Mike Slayman try, scored all of their points in the competition?
Neil Bennett.
Yep. Who was the only England player, other than Johnny Wilkinson, to score in the 2003 Rugby World Cup final victory against Australia?
Jason Robinson.
Yep. England equalled New Zealand's record of 18 consecutive victories in March 2017. Against which team did this run begin in October?